I have to tell you, it's quite amazing to be here, to stand in this place for one thing. But I walked over here, you know, in the snow and the sludge and everything, and I'm not a real expressive person. When I'm watching something that excites me, sometimes the most you get out of me is, yes. And I'm coming over here with you, and I'm thinking, these people are crazy. And I guess it's okay. And I guess it's okay for me to say that since Rand Paul agreed, right? So it's great to be here. I'm glad I could be a part of this event today. And I want to thank you all for your devotion to the Constitution, this ageless, this ancient but timeless document. We're here, I think, because we love our country and we believe in the principles of freedom on which it was founded. And because of that devotion to liberty, we're rallying today in support of Ron Paul. He's the candidate best suited to govern by the principles established by the Constitution. And that means a lot to me because I have read and teach the Constitution. And when you do that, at least start with reading it, right? And then you begin to teach the principles and you understand exactly where we are and where we should be in reference to where we are. I want to offer you this afternoon, those of you who are here and those who are perhaps listening to these words or may listen to them later. I suspect this will end up on YouTube somewhere. Right now. The other candidates offer politics as usual. You all know that. Dr. Paul brings constitutional politics that should be normal. And we don't have to choose a candidate just because he's able to beat the other candidates. We have the opportunity to vote for someone who's principled and will win. We don't have to vote. We don't have to vote not to lose. And if I may, let me give you an athletic illustration for that. I had the opportunity to coach basketball for a number of years and still try to play a little bit. Sometimes in sports, when your team has a lead, and in the second half perhaps you start losing the lead, you get a little worried, so you start playing not to lose. And those of you who have been in situations like that may have a better knowledge of what I'm saying. You can see what a difference that makes in the game plan, because you started the game eager to win. You had to achieve victory. And so you played with that in mind. You didn't want to lose, you played to win. But then, after things turn a little bit, your whole game plan changes. You now are hoping not to lose. Sports history is full of teams that played not to lose, yet ended up losing. I won't make any references to the Patriots who are playing to win, even as we speak. Unfortunately, there's a sad political parallel of the, you know how I just said I'm not going to make any references, and I did? Don't you hate it when speakers do that? Unfortunately, there's a sad political parallel of this game plan among American voters, especially conservatives. I think it started with the election of George H.W. Bush, who turned out to be the not-so-conservative president that his record would have indicated he would be. Since then, the Republican Party leadership specifically has, I think, been promoting similar conservative candidates. But each election cycle, the presented candidates are less and less conservative and more like the Democrats. As the campaign season winds down, the chief objective of too many Republicans has been the political twin of this odd sports philosophy, playing not to lose. The fray was entered with every hope of victory, but over time the game plan has changed. Now the goal is hoping not to lose. The game isn't about winning an election anymore. It's about not letting the other guy win. especially if it's a Democrat, I guess, in some cases. It's voting not to lose. Let me just give you a couple of examples. And when I give examples, it's certainly in no way to cast any aspersions on these folks, just point of disagreement. Dr. Bob Jones, last month of the university bearing that name, endorsed Mitt Romney for president. I could probably go back and forth. Ron Paul, some other candidate, we go, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. In his remarks, Dr. Jones candidly confessed that although he opposed Mormonism, he believes Romney is the best hope to beat Rudy Giuliani from winning the Republican nomination and keeping Hillary Clinton out of the White House. Do you hear a cry of victory here? In my opinion, Bob Jones is not voting to win, he's voting not to lose.
And he's still going to lose.
Don't need to set anybody up here, do we?